Regarding Christian worship, one of the questions that we should be asking ourselves is, why is it that we go to church for? Or why is it that we attend actually Christian meetings and worship services? There's many reasons for it, obviously, but I'm thinking in one in particular, and one reason is that a lot of people think or expect or aim Christian worship to be just a source of personal inspiration, just personal inspiration. And the question is whether that should be only the purpose of worship, just going to church just to be inspired. Now, inspiration is always pleasant. Who wouldn't like to be inspired after all, right? To be encouraged, to be strengthened in our faith. When we look at worship that way, worship only becomes a self-help therapy. Now, I just want to say there is nothing wrong to go to church to be inspired. There's actually nothing wrong with that. But in my view, when we only make that the only object of church, and this is important because we can fall in the trap of evaluating Christian worship or the quality of a Christian worship based upon the level of inspiration that we have received by it. Not only Christian worship or praise and singings and songs, but also the message, the preaching, the ministry of the word. Everything sometimes seems to be measured by the level of inspiration that we receive from it. But I submit to you that inspiration should not only be the goal of Christian worship or the expectation that we bring into Christian gatherings. 1 John chapter 3 verse 2 says that, I'm just going to paraphrase here because I know the verse in Spanish, not in English, but it says that now we are the children of God, sons of God, but when Christ manifests, we should be like him because we shall see him just as he is. So when Christ manifests, we should be like him because we should see him as he is. So when Christ manifests, we are not only inspired, but there is a transformation that will take place in the future. But if I understand Christian doctrine rightly, I can say that Christ also manifests himself in Christian gatherings, in the worshiping of the saints to the Lord. And if that's the case, every worship experience in which Christ is present should also be an opportunity, not just for inspiration, but also for transformation. So inspiration is always pleasant, transformation is always painful. And the greater and deeper and seriousness, and more serious, is the degree of transformation, the more painful it will be. Now the question is, have we turned into people that just go to church just to be inspired and be content by that, with very little or no transformation in our lives? Or are we also being careful and seeking transformation in our life as we continue worshiping the Lord in Christian gatherings? What is the purpose of us attending Sunday churches, Sunday service churches, or any Christian gathering? So I think that we have a tremendous responsibility, not as church leaders, but also very important as worshipers. We have a tremendous responsibility and a tremendous expectation have laid upon us to seek also our transformation and not just our inspiration. Like I said, inspiration is pleasant, transformation is painful. But if we approach the church gatherings with the aim, the view of having our life being transformed according to the image of God's Son, I think that's the right approach. rather than just going to church just to feel good, to feel empowered, to feel inspired, to feel encouraged, to feel positive, to leave the negative behind. All of these things, like I said, is part of it, but it should not be the purpose of it. Otherwise, our Christianity is totally unbalanced as worshipers. The Holy Spirit also seeks our transformation through worship, not just our inspiration. So there is another word here, which is edification. And I think the edification for my life is being reached when I'm doing both, when I'm being inspired but also transformed. I just want to share this with you, just to strengthen our Christianity. If this is what you're looking for, if you benefit from this sort of comments or sharing. So may God give us wisdom to rightly approach our relationship, the relationship that we have with Him, and especially church gatherings as Christians. May our services also put that demand on people, on worshipers, to make us all aware that we are not present Sunday morning in the church just to gain knowledge or to be patted in our back or just to feel good and great and just to say, oh man, what a great message, what a great sermon, what a great gathering, but rather that we can see transformation in a daily life, in our life. Now, transformation could be something dramatic as a huge step, a huge change, but also not often. I mean, sometimes transformation could be very small steps, small changes. But I just would like to encourage all of us just to seek transformation in our life and ask yourself the same question. When I leave in church on Sunday, when I'm getting ready to leave my week on Monday, has the church service contributed to the transformation of my life? And if the answer is yes, that was a good service. Obviously, not just transformation for the sake of transformation, but transformation for the sake of the glory of God. And not the transformation that we seek to be transformed into, but the transformation that God seeks for us to be transformed into. In other words, God's Son. That's a very important thing. So God bless you. Have a wonderful week. And may the Lord continue to transform our life, and may the services, the worship services that we have in our churches be faithful, be biblical, scriptural, and let them be a way, an opportunity, not just for inspiration, but also for transformation as well. Blessings.